Hello, my name is Kyle Pira, and today I'm going to be talking about AuthorRank, what it is, and how it's going to change how search engines work. So let's get started. So what is AuthorRank, right? Well, it's basically the quality associated with a specific content creator online. It's built on the base ideas behind PageRank, and in many ways it's going to be probably the successor to PageRank, although I'd say, just from personal experience, that is a long ways from now. We will probably have self-driving cars by the time that happens. But yeah. So, what is the difference between AuthorRank and PageRank? Well, it should seem pretty easy, pretty obvious. But AuthorRank, some of its pros is it's linked to the individual content creator rather than sites or pages. So, with PageRank, it's ranked based on the site, not necessarily the author. So you might have a site that's got lots of great authors and it's got a very high PageRank, but you got one really shitty author on there, and they're writing really poor content. But because that site as a whole has a good page rank, Google is kind of forced to think that that guy's content is also pretty good. It's also going to work across multiple sites, so if an author happens to be writing for the New York Times and Forbes and half a dozen other sites, his articles will all kind of rank really high, regardless of what the quality of those sites are. It's also likely to see a better understanding of the quality content in search engines rather than just, well, this site has a higher page rank, it must be better. And also, big plus is that it can qualify authors as being experts in specific topics. So, like, if Google or Bing sees that a specific author has a lot of articles that are talking about machine learning, then Google and Bing and Yahoo, they're all going to be like, okay, this guy's got a lot of articles about machine learning. He's probably somewhat expert on machine learning. Maybe he's a professor or something like that. And then suddenly, if maybe he goes off and makes a article about how to program in HTML, maybe that won't be ranked as high because he's not an expert on HTML. He's an expert on machine learning. They're totally different things. Both have to do with computers, but other than that, they're pretty much different. AuthorRank, though, does have some very big cons. Number one is that it's pretty easy to abuse it. I'll get onto that a little bit later. And it's going to be really difficult to actually verify the metadata on a scale, because everything having to do with search has to be applicable to mass scale of not just millions, but nowadays there are billions of content creators online, because anybody who is capable of publishing a tweet or posting a YouTube video or posting something on Instagram is technically a content creator. So how is it supposed to work? Well, right now, it would look at the metadata in the head of the HTML document, specifically the author metadata, which looks a bit like that. So it's meta name equals author, content equals your name. In this case, my name is Kyle Pira. Sup? And this could occur on pages like tweets or Facebook posts, news articles, or YouTube watch pages. Just anything where a specific piece of content is being created by a specific person. This could be applicable to. The verification issue. I don't need to be somebody in order to write code like I'm somebody. Like, I am not Bill Gates, I'm not Donald Trump, I'm not Larry Page, and I am not Mark. I am none of those people, but that's not going to stop me from writing the code saying I'm one of those people. And what happens if I put Bill Gates up at the top of my article saying that this was written by Bill Gates, although it's not, it's written by me. I just want it to rank really high, and I'm assuming stuff written by Bill Gates and Larry Page, and maybe not Donald Trump, but those guys, will probably rank high, right? And, yeah. But there are a few possible solutions, and these are just the ones that I was able to come up with while I was making this PowerPoint. I'm sure the people at Google and Bing and Microsoft, which is the same as Bing, have probably come up with way better solutions that would just blow these out of the water. But you could potentially create a whitelist of sites kind of automatically. So, you could look at an author and say, okay, so he regularly posts on this site, this site, this site, this site about, let's go back to the previous example about we'll say his name is Mark Computerberg, because reasons. Anyway, and we'll say he's a machine learning expert, and he's writing articles on sites A, B, C, and D, and suddenly lots of articles from Mark start popping up on site E, and these articles have nothing to do with machine learning like the rest of them. And site E is just overall like a weird mess of a site. It's nothing like the other sites. So maybe the search algorithm for that one will just rank it more based on PageRank rather than AuthorRank. But then there's another issue. Like, a lot of names are very generic. Like at the bottom there, you see author content equals Mark. Which Mark? Is it Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Cuban, Mark from like next door? Which Mark? How does the search engine know which Mark if I can't tell which Mark? So in that case, I'd say the best thing that you could do would probably be just to throw out that metadata and just work based on PageRank. So right now, it looks like the best potential system that could work would be the AuthorRank/PageRank hybrid system. And basically, it just uses PageRank to verify AuthorRank. For example, man A, who usually posts on sites with a PageRank of 3 to 6, suddenly has many posts from PageRank 1 sites. That's going to be kind of suspicious. So maybe, as it says there, it's a shoot first, ask questions later model, but when you're dealing with search, shoot first, ask questions later is usually a good policy for combating spam. And just assume that all the outlying pages from the dataset are fraudulent and only count PageRank on them, like we do today. Right, so that concludes this video. Here are some suggested topics you might want to, Google, or I've got videos on a few of them. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you later.